to episode 22 of the Entirely X Gaming Podcast. I'm your ship captain for this week's show, Mike Spindler. Gamertag is XIMIK392IX. On board with me, I have my favorite deckhand, Ben Frampton.
Yar, shiver me timbers, mateys. I be the one they be calling Nareem.
And you heard him laugh, our very own Seaman Stains Tyler Spindler. Now, real quick, Ben, there's a little backstory to that comment there, and it's from over the pond.
Yeah.
So what is it?
So there's a TV show from back in the day over here called Captain Pugwash, and there was a supposed character on that show called Seaman Stains, though that character never actually existed. I figured that sums Tyler up pretty well.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No, I'm not Seaman Stained. What's up, guys? Gamertags XI, Tidal Wave, IX.
So for this week's a little something extra, with Sea of Thieves finally here and us being able to explore the vast seas and islands and fighting other pirates, or players, asshole players at that. Me and Ben and Tyler noticed there's a common thread between all of these games coming out. Well, most games coming out.
Yeah, so this week we're talking about games that rely quite heavily on player-to-player interaction to form their end game. So while most people would think, well, of course, most games' end game is basically multiplayer anyway, so obviously it's player-to-player. We don't mean player-to-player just as a whole. We mean these games that specifically require these sort of player-devised interactions, these imagination from the people playing the game to actually form the basis of their end game. So, for example, we have a few games on a list right here that I think have been based quite heavily around the player-to-player aspect. So, the one that instantly came to mind was The Division.
Yeah.
So, the Dark Zones specifically. You know, there was the raid fights, but let's be honest, most of the end game for that was the Dark Zone and the player-to-player interaction of getting screwed over by other squads.
Right.
So that game relied quite heavily on people being dicks, to put it lightly. Like,
Wow.
if everyone had just gone in, got the gear they could, and got out, that game would not have been, that mode would not have survived. People wouldn't have been excited by it. It took people's greed to make that multiplayer work.
And it worked. There were some jerks.
Yeah. But then you start looking at the common thread between that and Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go Tyler.
I did notice that there is a bit of a connection, like people are kind of being dicks in Sea of Thieves. But I mean, in The Division, I never really noticed. Well, I noticed it once, and it pissed me off so much that I stopped playing The Division.
Oh, wow.
I have not finished The Division. I don't know how it ends. I bought the collector's edition. I don't know how it ends, because someone ruined it for me just by killing me randomly. And I was just like, I don't like you guys.
I hate you guys.
So, like, that's my thing on The Division.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still
And the
like...
Division did suffer from other problems.
Yeah.
Many other problems. I
Yeah.
think the problem Tyler had with that is that game was not billed as player versus player, a grief-laden community. It was It was billed as, look, it's Tom Clancy, go and deal with this, horrible plague-ridden city where everything's gone crazy, and it was it was billed as being very single-player heavy. And when it actually got to the end game, it was very player versus player and very noob unfriendly, shall we say?
Oh.
So
Which makes it hard for like noobs, like you said, new players, to jump in and try to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think anyone can jump into Sea of Thieves, no matter end game or not, and you can still get away with it.
You can get away with it. It's just the question is it going to get to the point later on? Because we are right at the beginning now. This is how many days after launch?
This is 5 days after launch.
Yeah, that you're never going to get that yet. You're never going to get that griefing community yet. What's going to
No, not
happen
yet.
soon, though, is people are going to get bored of going around these islands, and they're going to start going, well, I can just run over to these guys
And steal their shit.
and steal. Well, yeah, just take everything they've got. Like, one of the first games I joined on Sea of Thieves, I was playing with some guys, and it was 4 guys, me and 3 others.
Okay.
We went to this island, we started getting some stuff, and one of them said, one of us should stay on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I'd already thought of this possibility, but to see that people already at that first stage were thinking, you know what, someone's going to come and steal all our crap if we leave the ship on its own.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I've had that thought too. Like last night, I was playing it, Mike was playing it, and Christy was playing it with us, and I had the thought. I was just like, man, if we had a 4th person, I would say, hey, stay on the ship and make sure no one comes and get us. But
right.
I noticed when we were running around one of the islands, we didn't really, like, yeah, every so often we would be like, oh, hey, there's another galleon off in the distance. And one of us would keep an eye on it, but we would stay on the island. So it's not necessary to have someone stay on the ship, but you do have to keep an eye out, and you have to, communicate between your other guys, and be like, hey, there's another ship coming, or, and if they are coming towards you, then you have to be like, hey, let's get back to the ship. And
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. Me and Mike were playing the other day, and we were on like the opposite side of an island. There's no way we would have known if someone was going to our ship. No way. Some of those islands are big.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get real big.
So you're there thinking, well, would that mean that we get completely screwed over if we didn't leave someone on the boat? And even then, what's one person going to do?
That is true.
You get a fully manned galley, you're screwed.
Yep. Now, before we dive into Sea of Thieves even more, because I have a feeling we're going to spend a good minute on that, let's get past some of the other games that not struggle with or do it differently with this end game goal of having players against players.
Yeah, so it's basically looking at games, if you think about it, where players have to make the end game for themselves.
Yep.
So another one that came to mind for myself was Minecraft.
Okay.
You go into that game, and the players have to make everything for themselves, don't they? Really? They've given you the world. They've given you the world to play in. They've made all the the physics for it. They've made all the different blocks, and they might have put some little Easter eggs in. But you've got to do the most part of that end game development for them. And is it lazy? Is it not lazy? Is it allowing creativity? Is it?
I don't know if it's lazy. I wouldn't say it's lazy.
I wouldn't say it's
say
lazy.
It's a creative tool for people to use.
Yeah.
That is a game.
Yeah.
I'll be the other side of this coin, and I know everyone's gonna shout out at me now because Sea of Thieves is brand new. But if it ends up in 6 months, right? If it ends up in 6 months that everyone's had it with Sea of Thieves, and they're all like, there wasn't enough content, it just wasn't that it wasn't enough to keep us playing. I'm gonna say I told you so. Because I think that is what's happening right here. I've been playing that game, and I do not see how it's going to be different in the end game enough to keep people involved.
I think I'm optimistic. I'm more optimistic with it. The roadmap that got leaked of all free DLC for Sea of Thieves. Everything is free. Every single expansion will be free.
Okay.
There's a lot of content coming. As of right now, what is the end game? It takes so long to get there that no one's going to be there before the first content drops.
Okay.
As long
When's
as they
the
stick
first
to that
drop?
roadmap. I would have to double check it. Let me pull it up.
Also, when you say it's going to take that long to get there, how long do we mean?
So,
As being very aware that this is challenge 1,
Hopefully.
Right, so I guess we're just going to go straight into Sea of Thieves because I want to talk about it.
Okay.
I'll just explain how the game works because I did get a lot of messages saying like, what is Sea of Thieves? What is that game? What do you do in that game? What is it about? The whole idea is you're a pirate trying to become a legendary pirate or a legend, right? So you have 3 ways to do that. You can dig for treasure and solve riddles for the gold hoarders. The creepy skull lady who has you go around killing skeletons. I forget what she's called. And then the Merchant Alliance, where you gather goods such as chickens, pigs, barrels of gunpowder, just, goods that you can bring back to port and give it to them and sell it off.
Yeah.
So that's the whole idea. And then every time you bring back a chest or you complete a voyage, your renown goes up. I guess we'll call it renown.
Yeah.
Or your level.
Yeah, it's a reputation build.
Yeah, with that faction.
Yeah.
I believe the cap is 50. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
Is 50. I'm currently at 20, and I have almost 30 hours in the game.
Jesus.
So, if you're going to double that and then go an extra 10, so you're halving that, you're talking another, what is that? Where you're looking at the 75-ish hours?
Yeah, 75, 80.
And that's just one. Well, maybe one. Because I'm like a level 10 with the Skull Lady and like a level 8 or something with the Merchant Alliance.
Yeah, so you can do all three at once, right?
Kind of. It's all based off one voyage. So if you go on a voyage for the Skull Lady, you're probably not going to get a chest unless you just find one on the island, which you can do.
Does happen.
And you can also find chalices or relics for the gold hoarders. Mm-hmm. So if you're on a killing mission for the Skull Lady, I should probably find her name. You can find a chalice or a relic and bring it back and then get 800 gold for that relic. Okay. While getting rep and a skull for her.
My point was though, you're grinding these rep items, and I get that concept. God knows I've played enough World of Warcraft. I understand reputation.
Yeah.
But once you get to that top rep, what have they got for you?
Well,
what's there?
See, I feel like this is an opportunity for Sea of Thieves to not follow Destiny, all right? Because Destiny did like the worst thing possible. They let the players be able to get to the top rank, made them sit there at that top rank or top light, whatever you want to say, for months.
That's exactly what I think is coming. That's the thing.
Hopefully Sea of Thieves can learn from that and be like, hey, here's some content, after a month or two of being out. Whereas Destiny was just like, hey, we don't have anything for like another 6 months. But, just keep doing the same thing over and over.
What I'm worried
about.
Again. You are exactly right, Tyler. That is what I'm most worried about with this game. Because I am required by my honor to put many, many hours into this game.
You are.
So I'm looking at it thinking, right, please don't get boring.
I feel like it's not.
It's not right. Boring. This is what I mean. We're 5 days post launch. No one is going to be no one but me is going to be sat there thinking, oh, this is going to get really, really hard to maintain interest in, because everyone's looking at it thinking, this is great. I get to go out on these beautiful sea voyages, and they are cool. Like, I'm not usually a big proponent of cartoon-based game art. Yeah, I make this comment every time. I'm never massively into it, but this I can understand. It is a beautiful game. The reading about what they've done in terms of the physics of the waves, of the dynamic weather, of the islands and the rendering aspects of it. If you want to go and bore yourself to death with physics engine stuff, you can go and read the Eurogamer article. I've read all that stuff, and it is fascinating, and it's really good that they've put that effort in. But to back up an incredible physics and a lovely concept, they have to have something that is extremely fun to do in gameplay. Now, Mike, I have a feeling that the DLC that they're promising could go one of two ways. Okay. One, it can be a wonderful endgame thing where you have to, everything that you've learned and these little tricks that you've picked up, and, you get sort of almost like a PvP aspect added in. They add a proper endgame experience into the game, and it is, at that point, if they do that and they do it right, I will eat every single one of these words. Right? I will chow down on these words. I would get some alphabet soup, spell my words out, and just eat those bad boys. But the other way it can go, and I really hope I'm wrong. The other way it could go is that they go, right, here's another faction. Get to rep 50 level with these.
I can see them adding, which I don't think I would mind that if I'm 100 hours into the game.
Yeah.
And I'm max level. I wouldn't mind them adding another faction. But if they added one right now, or in the first month, that's too much. That's too much for me to do. I would still probably enjoy it because I'm in love with this game.
I'm the other way. Like I'll warn you in advance, Mike. I've already spotted a possible shortcoming in the way that you're approaching your quest grinding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna go to rep 50 with your gold chest people, yeah.
But yeah, I do mixes. But
yeah, and then you're gonna do rep 50 with the other ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll point out right now, you find chests and chalices and skulls as you're going around, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you're rep level 50 with a gold guy, and you do a skull thing and find a gold chest?
Well, you still
get gold.
Yeah, but it's wasted rep. You could mix it up as you go along and just get those things
true.
like added on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want the gold because he gives you the most amount of gold for your returns.
Yeah.
So where I'm currently at, if I get a captain's chest or a marauder's chest, I get about 1,100, 1,300 per chest.
Jesus.
Right. So I'm just going at that because I want the cool skins. I want all the gold skins and everything. And we didn't even touch on all of that.
No, yeah.
Which also, it could be one of two things. I'm doing a lot of one or two things this show. This is how it's going.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet how those work. If they're purely cosmetic or if they give you damage boosts.
I cannot tell you. I spent 13,000 gold on a golden pistol, and I cannot tell the difference. I don't know if it's cosmetic.
See, if it's cosmetic, I'm going to be sat there thinking, so what am I actually getting this gold for?
Right.
To make yourself look pretty.
I don't want to look pretty. I want to get badass and shoot some huge, nasty skeleton that rises out of the sea with a big old weapon.
Yeah.
You know,
what me and Ben ran into was, and this is where it's so fun for me, because it reminds me so much of Zelda. There's no tutorial in this game. You just get in and go, and you have to figure out the world.
By the way, I've had no problem with at all.
I've had no problem.
I went into that world. I went straight up to the boat, and I was like, I know what I've done sailing before, so I don't know if that gave me any help, but I understood how to sail that boat. It wasn't particularly difficult for me. Mm-hmm. The quest giving, that was fairly simple. You know, it took me a while to understand the whole voting for a quest on the board thing.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
And that you can't see your compass while you're driving. You know, the dude's got two hands. He could do that.
Well, you can see your compass. There's a compass right to the right of the wheel.
Yeah, but you know, your specific compass and also
it's built into the ship.
The game map isn't accessible versus via the back button, which is.
It is. So there's a cool little cheat. It's a little kind of look around. If you're sailing in a sloop, which is a small ship, and you're steering it, directly behind you is a little overlook. If you look down and over, you can see the map. You can
see the map, yeah.
Okay.
But
that seems like awfully specific.
It is.
Yeah.
But I mean you're not supposed to have
I know what you mean. Yeah.
If you only have one person.
Yes, I am, Tyler. I can sail a galleon solo.
I wouldn't recommend that. That's a lot of running up and down.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that I feel like Sea of Thieves will kind of do, and it's actually connected to Minecraft. At least I hope they kind of learn from it. In Minecraft, there's still people that play it today. Like, they're still actively
millions of people.
Yeah. And they're always finding, fun little things to do, whether it's just making cool stuff or making random little games. I mean, just look at Achievement Hunter.
Building the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
Or building like an actual functional computer.
Yeah. Like all that.
It's insane.
It is. So I feel like with Sea of Thieves, again, it's another learning opportunity for them. Or rather, mostly for the players. They can try to come up with small little games that you can play with each other.
Yeah.
So
those are definitely there.
I will bet you as well. I'll bet you right now there will be like a liar's dice or some form of gambling option that comes into this game. That will be one of their DLCs.
That would be amazing.
That's gonna happen.
Love it. You go into the pub and there's like people playing cards. Oh man.
Yeah.
That is guaranteed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so back to my original point was this exploration type of game where it just throws you in and you have to figure it out and how the world works and everything. I absolutely love it. And it does it almost it does it just like Zelda did, where Zelda just threw you in, you wake up, that's it, go save the world.
Yeah.
And in this case it's less hand holding than Zelda,
Yeah, because Zelda did have some.
That sense of accomplishment, when you get a captain's chest for the first time and you have 6 other chests on your ship, and then you see a galleon out, that is one of the most intense things of how to maneuver out of the island around them using the wind that could be, you might be going into it, and how to get around and out and back to port with all of your chests. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
At that. But
I enjoy
that has a plateau point. So they have to build up more.
Yeah.
Than just that.
I think I've been enjoying the sailing aspect of it way too much as well. I've been enjoying the whole, how do we direct the sails to get the wind to work for us right?
Yeah.
How do we sail into the wind? Because that's always been a challenge when if you're a sailor, it's one of those things that you have to learn how to deal with.
Yep.
So I
there's a word for it. What's it called?
It's tacking and jibing.
Yeah. Also, tacking does work in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, they've built it so that it basically works the same as a dinghy or a small sailboat. So you have to go across the wind and tack and jibe back and forwards.
Yeah.
But it doesn't teach you that.
No,
that's
it doesn't.
The thing. You have to learn that.
You're
like, man, I'm going so slow. How do I go faster?
Yeah.
Let me try to, turn right a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's going the other way.
When me and you figured out that, with a bit of help from the tooltip, that raising the sail would get us to turn a tighter corner, Mike, as well, so we managed to not nail the ship into the island.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The one thing I did learn rather quickly was don't fall off the boat.
Yeah.
Because if it's going straight, it's gonna keep going.
Yeah,
and luckily they put in a little system of hey, if you fall off, we'll give you some help. Like a little mermaid dude pops up, and then transports you back. The first time, like it was, I think I was like 15 minutes into playing the game, and I accidentally fell off. Like I don't even know how, but I did. Yeah. And
5 minutes
I was just
in
like,
for me.
So I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there, I'm just yelling at my boat, trying to catch it. I'm just like, what do I do now? And then the mermaid dude popped up. It was such a funny moment. I kind of wish I was streaming it.
It shows how good, there's nothing on the screen that tells you that until he pops up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, he takes me back to my boat.
Yeah, I swam over to him. I was like, what are you doing?
Right.
And then you hit X, and I was
clicks.
like, no.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and it clicks. And that shows, and this is why Rare will always be one of the best. It shows excellent gameplay design of just allowing players to jump in and mess with stuff, and they figure how it works.
Yeah.
Not having to be told how to do something.
Yeah. Because
press left trigger and press right trigger to shoot.
This was something like you can rely on people's natural curiosity, because what I did in my first time playing the game is I jumped straight into a game with 3 other guys.
Yep.
So, and they were already out sailing doing quests.
Oh, okay.
So I spawned on an island, nowhere near any of them, and they're already out on the boat. So I had no boat. So I was like, oh my god, what do I do? So I ran around the island and I started swimming off to the shore, and I saw this blue thing. I was like, oh, let's go explore the blue thing. So I went to the blue thing, and that's the mermaid, and it took me to the ship, and I was like, so. I found myself in a bad situation based just off the game, the game loading me in a certain way.
Right.
And was perfectly capable of getting myself to a place where I could just join in with these quests.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It was very well done. I was very happy with that.
Yeah.
It is well done. It's just we have a lot of questions. I'm more, like I said, optimistic that I'm putting my faith in Rare on this one. and with the expansions that will come, and
they gotta come quick enough. They gotta come quick enough.
Yeah, I would say 6 months. They have to
Nah,
have one out.
I would
within
say
6 months.
I would
6
say
months
3.
might be too long. Yeah, I'm with Tyler.
I would say 3.
3 months. 3 months is my limit.
3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna get to that point, Mike. We're gonna get high level in these quest givers, and then we're gonna be like, "What's next, Rare? What are we doing?
Yeah,
What's
what
the
are
point?"
we doing? And then you're gonna sit there trying to figure out, oh, hey, let's just go and do this, or you're gonna do the thing that Destiny or some players had to do in Destiny, like, hey, I'm gonna help this group of players out.
Right, you just become a shepherd at that.
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Well,
So
that's your job from now, Mike. By the way, you're so far ahead.
He's a shepherd.
You're basically
Perfectly fine with shepherding. I joined a group of 3 guys that they were relatively new. I joined the game, and I'm fully blinged out pirate. I have a hat, eye patch.
all that.
whoa.
Everything,
You don't
gold
just have a
guns.
patch. You don't just have a patch.
Oh,
You have.
yes, this was one of the greatest patches ever.
Oh Jesus.
It was a day one eye patch.
Yep.
So it's the day 1 patch.
It was great, and it has a little 1 on it. It's awesome.
Um.
So I show up in that, and then it becomes like, oh, hey, how much have you played of this game? And I start showing them things, like raising the sails to turn sharp, especially in a galleon. Like that is a big.
Oh
big
yeah, that's
deal.
a huge thing.
And the angling and showing them, what chests mean what.
Yeah.
That exploration of it again is so much fun.
Yeah.
So I don't mind being a shepherd in this. I hated being a shepherd in Destiny.
Destiny. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was not a
awful.
fun thing.
And Destiny's end game, back to our original point, Destiny's end game was ruined by one making PvP drops randomized.
Oh yeah.
And even the raid drops. If you did a raid, you could still get the same pair
Oh,
of
yeah.
boots, and you just spent how many hours doing that raid?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that was one downfall of Destiny.
I don't know if you guys have touched the raids in Sea of Thieves yet.
Nope.
Right. This is how you get your gold. This is
okay.
Pro tip right here is those. If you're out sailing and you look up in the sky and you see a skull, like a skull cloud with lightning in it, go towards that immediately.
Okay.
It's a raid. So what happens is it'll be right above an island. You sail to it. Now, being in a galleon, it's a little bit easier because you have 4 people.
Yeah.
But if you go to it, it's a wave-based thing where you just have to fight off skeletons.
Oh, okay.
Right? Fighting them off, you get about 10 to 15,000 gold every time you beat it. Yep.
That's
So.
But are other players gonna turn up and just?
Yep.
Yeah.
okay. Now
That's why, if you're on a sloop, whatever the hell it is, small ship, just beeline it there, do it as fast as you can, and get out of there. You will always beat the galleon out of there.
Now
It just takes so long for them to get up to speed.
Yeah.
You'll just be able to get away faster.
So it's not a co-op thing? It's just kind of like...
It turns into it. There was one where I showed up on a galleon with 3 guys. 2 other galleons showed up. We beat it. We all left. Didn't fire a single shot.
Okay.
Yep.
So...
Granted, we were all screaming when it ended because we're like, do we kill them? Are they going to kill us? You had that moment. So it's like, get back to the ship, get on the cannons. And you're sitting there and no one fires.
Okay.
And that's when you have the understanding, okay, we're all just leaving.
Yeah. But then you have those times where, you'll run into a player, everything will be calm at first, and then they'll turn around and shoot you in the face. Which is that happened to me within the first 30 minutes of me playing. I took a chest back, turned it in, and then I set the controller down because I had to go do something. And I came back and there was a galleon there. I was just like, oh God, what do I do? So I stayed away from the players, and then I heard them talking over the comms, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to plug my headset in. So I started dancing, and I tried warning them that I'm not going to do anything. And so one of them came ashore. I started playing music for him, and I was just like, okay, this is nice. I started following him around. Then he just turns around and shoots me in the face. Yeah. So...
now, the one thing I have learned, if you're going to interact with people like that, talk on the comm. Do it. Just be like, hey,
Yeah,
I don't mean anything. I'm fine. I'm just here trading in things.
Like if
you don't do that, they're gonna look at you even more and
Yeah.
watch what you do even more closely,
Yeah.
which opens up the door for them to be an asshole.
Yeah, so that's what I did wrong. I didn't say anything. So,
Yep.
but there was one other thing that I read an article on, and it's a certain aspect when you're playing with 4 people.
Yeah.
Like let's say, okay, it's not 4 people that you know, or 3 other people that you know, and it's just a group of random people all, stuck together on a galleon. There's actually a way you can, if one of them starts making trouble, you can actually lock them in the brig.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You-
I did that.
yeah.
We did that today.
I
We had
like that.
4. Yeah, we had 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
We had our chest. The one guy had to leave. He just had to go. So we were on our way back. 4th person joins up and instantly starts picking up the chests.
Oh God.
Yeah, right. And we had 6 chests and a chalice and like 2 or 3 skulls. And this kid just walks up and he starts picking them up and moving them closer to the edge.
Oh.
Instantly, we all just voted go to the brig.
Yeah.
And then we made a beeline straight for the outpost and cashed it all in instantly.
Okay. Yeah.
So there are ways to combat.
There are.
Team killing people. So
Yeah.
unlike Rainbow Six, like Siege, if someone shoots a hostage, you just wasted 2 minutes loading into a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just for them to kill it.
Yeah.
Or kill you.
Yep. There is also, instead of doing that, you can directly kick them from the game, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
So.
Yeah, but why just kick them from the game when you can lock them in the brig and leave them there feeling sorry for themselves?
Yeah, and then
You
make
should
them
punish
leave.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
punish them.
I
Yeah,
do like
make
how
them sit there.
they added that in there. Like, oh, hey, if you guys are going to be dicks to your own teammates, you're going to get locked up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
No, and it's.
It reminded me of.
We should. we kind of went on this weird tangent that kind of still threads in and out of this endgame stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I've talked more about Sea of Thieves and getting to the endgame than I did with The Division or Destiny
Oh,
or
yeah.
any of those games. It was always very clear what that endgame was for them.
Yeah.
So it was always a steep curve and then it leveled out, and that's what it was. Sea of Thieves, we're just on the curve right now. We don't know where it's gonna
we
end.
hope we're on the curve. We don't know there's anything at the end.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm having more fun doing that, learning that curve and being on it and experiencing it with a bunch of people. Because I don't know if you guys saw, over 1 million people day one.
Yes,
were
I
playing
did,
Sea
I
of
did see
Thieves.
that. That was.
Which
it
did screw the servers super hard because they were not ready for it.
No. I was
Why
not one of
weren't
those
they ready
million.
for it? Why not?
I
How are
feel
these
like
companies not ready for this day one?
I'll tell you why. Because everyone shits on Xbox for saying we're not going to buy these shitty in quotes exclusives, these little one-off games. We want better games. So their expectations are metered off of that. But then when everyone else goes out and buys that game regardless, they're not ready for it. So it's just people not being vocal enough that you're interested in a game. If you're interested in something, you have to talk about it, not just shit on it.
I mean, when you buy these servers, or you buy, the space on these servers,
Ooh, you're right.
do you have to physically have the servers?
No. Most game devs are going to be like they will
They're
say
going to be renting them off Microsoft or something,
Right.
aren't they?
Right. Yes.
So-
they'll say Microsoft, we want 100 servers. We think that's going to hold. And then turns out day one, that tripled.
Yeah.
We need more servers.
This is the
Yeah.
thing,
So then
though.
they have to get them up and
Day
running.
one, if I'm running a game, I would be saying I'm going to have more servers than I think I'm going to need. I don't care if I'm overspending. At least I guarantee that I
You would
won't
say
have these
that,
issues.
but what if the servers up front are one fee for 6 months?
Then I would complain because there's no point in selling them that way. To me.
Yeah.
That's a
Now-
bad
Well-
sales model.
It's a business and
It
it
is.
makes money.
Yes. Now I have a random question. It has nothing to do with Sea of Thieves. What is the one game that launched that had absolutely no server issues? Or very little server issues? Like the company was just so on top of it, they were like, Nope, got it.
Gears of War 4 and Halo Wars 2.
All right. Those were the two in my head.
Yep.
Like, those were the only two that I could think of that were like, hey, we know there's going to be a shit ton of people. We think we have enough
Also,
servers, but when...
Look who owns those two games, though.
Yep.
Microsoft.
Yeah. So Microsoft was just like, hey.
This is the thing. They will just throw enough at it to make sure that it works. But what annoys me is when I'm sat there day one, that's when I'm most excited about this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't play. That's the worst thing that you can
Oh,
have.
yeah, that was terrible.
It is the
for
worst. But at the same time, it is awesome that day one, a Microsoft exclusive that is currently being outsold like 3-1 or 4-1, I think. It had 1 million players day one. That is an incredible attachment rate, and it speaks volumes.
Well, it says that the Xbox community is still there. It's just that they
there,
want a decent game to latch on to. You know, they want
Yep.
something like that they can get playing. They want to go in and they want to spend their money. They want to spend their time. They just don't have the right material to do it yet.
So far. And I think Sea of Thieves is a good step. I think State of Decay 2 will be another good step.
State of Decay
And
2
Crackdown
will
3.
be cool. I am very much excited for that game, but it's not a very big series. It's not a big game.
No, it's not. But I think we need to get over this next year of these little, exclusives. Sea of Thieves isn't little, but these 3 or 4 exclusives till we can get to the point where those farm dev teams that Microsoft has been working on, because they have been. Games take a long time to make, start coming to the surface. And when we start seeing those, we'll have years like PlayStation has had of getting games like The Last of Us, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. All of those things.
Yeah, but why is it taking them so long? You say games take time to make. I understand that. That's not something I don't understand at all. But what have they been doing? What have they been doing in this time when PlayStation's been making these games?
It was the hardware. That's what they had to combat. They had to steer course away from games to focus on, great, now we have to focus on hardware. Mm-hmm. And when you're talking a mass production like the Xbox One X is, that is a hard thing to push out in 4 years like they did. I mean, you're taking an Xbox One, making it smaller and 3 times as powerful to market in less than 4 years, right? Now you have to shift your focus away from games and put it onto hardware and explain to people why playing on this hardware is better for the games that you can play on other hardware instead of focusing on the games. So it's a really shitty position, but I'm hoping it'll go up.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the idea that Microsoft, a company that big, can't deal with 2 things at once.
Yeah.
I
mean, come on, just make games and develop your hardware, Microsoft. Not too difficult. Especially when it takes 3, 4 years, 5 years, 9 years, 15 years to make these games.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time a Rare game was out?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
And now we have one. You're talking over a decade of no games made, so they could make Sea of Thieves, which is a technical masterpiece. It is gorgeous.
It is.
I've been playing on the Xbox One X.
Oh, yeah.
And then I played on a 4K TV.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I went straight on to the 4K, and it was funny. I got in one of our little side chats, we have our friend was just like, "Oh yeah, there's only like a 9 gig update," and then when I put it in, it was like 18 gigs. I'm just like, what are you talking about? It's 19 or 18 gigs, and then I was like, oh wait, I have an Xbox One X. Mine's a 4K update. And it's yeah, Ben, get with it. But no, it is a very beautiful game. I don't even know.
All right, so let's wrap up a little something extra there.
Yeah.
And basically, there's games with high-end game caps, and they're only living because of the players that are in them.
Yeah, there's some games that rely solely on the player interaction to make their end game.
Yeah, and some of them need to do it better. I don't know if there has been one. Actually, this is a good question. Has there been one where the end game has been good or perfect?
We'll open it up to social media. We will open it up. We'll see what people say. Up
because that's a heavy question. But so Ben, where could they let us know?
It's at entirely_x.
Yeah, and we'll let us know what you think. What's a perfect end game in your mind? Yeah, and we'll fill it in next week. So let's move on to what we've been playing, and I think there's going to be a little bit more Sea of Thieves talk here.
Only briefly.
So, just a little bit.
I'll head it up because
go ahead.
My name's first alphabetically. So I played Sea of Thieves quite obviously. I've played also some other random crap. We've played Planet of the Eyes, which is it's not as bad as most of the platformers I've played. There were some things in that I kind of enjoyed, especially the little dance you get your dude to do for an achievement. I quite like that. That made me laugh. So I played that, got the 1,000. That was alright. Couple of slow loading achievements.
Yeah.
Then Jump Step I also played.
Oh god.
That's a little programming game. You get to program your dude.
I hate it.
Why?
I can't. I was trying to follow the video guide, and it's just like
the one with massive gaps in what he's actually
it's just
showing
like
you what
my map isn't matching up with his map, and it's just like no. I had to stop.
I just sat there and figured out what I needed to do for each section.
Oh,
no, I got it eventually. But no, I really enjoyed that. I thought that was quite a fun game in general.
God.
Yeah. I'm sad. Programming little robots is my thing. Things I did not enjoy was Qbot.
Oh.
That sucks.
You didn't enjoy that?
That sucks ass. That sucks major ass.
Yeah.
If you want to know, there is a YouTube video guide that someone's done, which is absolutely fucking terrible. Right?
It is. It really is.
Chunks of the video where it just blurs because his capture's gone wrong and it's just horrible. However, and I noticed this 95% of the way through the damn guide. In the description, he has written down just a list of button commands for you to finish each level.
Yep.
Nice.
Wish I'd known that beforehand. Really wish.
Actually,
also, the walkthrough on TA is much better.
This was linked from TA.
I disagree, Mike. I could not follow the TA guide.
Oh, I did. That.
I couldn't follow it, and I went to Xbox Achievements.
Yeah.
And the guide on there much better because it just has a list of all the achievements, and underneath it, each level is down, left, right, up, down, whatever. What you need to do.
One thing to pay attention to while following those lists as well is that when you teleport, you can't do a command until it's finished teleporting.
Usually what I do is I go down, left, right. I usually give it a second between each thing.
Give a pause between each one because otherwise you get screwed up.
Yeah.
When did you complete it?
Qbot?
Tyler. Yeah.
I haven't completed it yet. I still have 6 levels to go, but it's not bad. It's kind of like Energy Cycle in a sense.
It's more complicated.
I would go back and look at the guide on TA because they might have redone it.
Okay.
Since you last looked at it.
Okay.
Because now on page 3, it's broken down. Episode 1, puzzle 1, right. Puzzle 2, up.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. When I looked at it,
much nicer.
When I looked at it, it was just it was bad.
It was not good when I went on it either.
Oh. Yeah, I would go back page 3. It's the final page on the guide.
Okay. But yeah, back. I'll finish my list. Shush, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I also played 6180 The Moon.
Ooh, I have that one. I have that one.
It was It was all right. There was a couple of them I was just like, "Fuck you, 6180 the moon. I've had enough of your shit." Like the fact that when you're going down and you press to the side, you can just smash straight into another like opposite facing spike, so you can hit the side of it when you're trying to go past it. I was like, really? Did you have to do that? Could you not have made it so that I moved to the side at the same speed as the slope of the spike? Because so many times. But yeah, I got through it. I got the achievements. We got there in the end. I had a little bit of confusion where I was like, "Holy crap! How do I change over to the reversed modes?"
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought it'd just be if you clicked on it again, it would start doing it backwards.
Nope.
Yeah. So that was fun.
It's a whole section. Yeah.
But no, it was. I don't know. It's an easy 1,000 Gs, relatively easy 1,000 Gs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've continued my trend for the month. We're still
good.
Nice.
Miles ahead of Mike, so you know. So
yeah, he is. He's what 5? I think you're 5,000 or 6,000. Yeah,
6,400.
Come at me, bro. Come at me.
Ben, don't open that challenge because
I'm the only one that keeps him going.
Yeah, it is. It is true.
Right, Tyler, what have you been playing?
So, like Ben, I have been playing Cubot. I didn't finish it, unlike Ben. Still got a couple more levels, like I said. It's not a bad game. I when I first started, I didn't use the guide. Like the levels were just simple enough for me to be like, oh hey, this is where you have to go. And I read the achievements, and it didn't matter how many moves you had. So I was just like, oh, I can, yeah. So I was just like, oh, I can just do whatever the hell I want. So I did that. And then obviously, the big one that we have been talking about for a majority of the show was Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and we're probably going to talk some more about that after I'm done and once Mike gets talking about it. But I just watched a couple of movies. I watched what did I watch? I watched Sausage Party.
I really enjoyed that film.
Love that movie.
I was not expecting the ending. And I still don't know how I feel about it. It was it was weird. It was a weird movie.
It's a good movie. I saw a movie too.
Yeah.
Did you see Mike?
Hey.
I saw the new Tomb Raider. Sorry.
It's still my turn.
Sorry,
but yes, that's okay. Now, then I watched the older one, The Blues Brothers. I don't know if anyone's watched that one. That was a good one.
Years ago.
Yeah, that was a good one. I liked that one. It had Dan Aykroyd in it. I was just like,
yeah,
I love Dan Aykroyd.
Who doesn't love Dan Aykroyd?
And then
it sounds like we need a movie section.
yeah, we might every so often when I watch a list of movies. And then I watched Fight Club.
Yeah.
That one was a bit of a mindfuck.
Have you not seen that?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it.
Holy crap, you're behind the times.
I know. I hadn't seen it, and then Christy was just kind of like, hey, we should watch this one. So we rented it, and holy fuck, that was a mind fuck.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say. Like, I was just like, oh my god, what's happening?
I like how Tyler's trying not to spoil Fight Club like 20 years later.
Hey, rule 1 of Fight Club.
Do not talk about
But no, yeah, the biggest thing that I played this week was Sea of Thieves. And Mike and me and Christy all played it. What was it, yesterday or 2 days ago? Yesterday. Yeah, it was a lot of fun having. Yeah, it's a lot of fun having multiple people playing that game with you. Like,
we need to try something, by the way. There's one thing that I'm desperate to try in that, and that is getting 4 people on the boat playing the hurdy-gurdy at once.
Don't worry.
Oh, we did that. Yep.
Wait,
does it add more Does it add more stuff to the music, Mike?
It does.
It fills it in.
It's really nice.
Section.
It's really nice.
And it gets deeper and louder.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll probably keep playing that. So.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then Ben, you'll have to join us, and we'll have our merry little crew.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but what about you, Mike? What have you been up to?
So played a couple of the games other than Sea of Thieves. Played Burnout Paradise Remaster.
All right.
Is it enough to draw me in? Should I be checking that out?
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it plays well. It looks good. It's fun. It's just, again, it's the same game. It's upscaled.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take time to complete. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for a racing game to sink some hours into, yes. If you're not, don't touch it.
Okay.
Because you got to clear, 400 of those smash. You got to clear the billboards.
Yeah.
There's just a lot you have to collect. But it is still fun, and it's only $40.
That's not too bad.
So, yeah, that was nice. And then picked up Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game.
That sounds terrible.
It's actually really good. It's a dirt bike racing game. It's real fun, real good. Looks nice and pretty.
Do we believe him, Tyler? I mean,
I don't
any
know.
game that begins with the sponsor. I mean,
Yeah, it was very much they got a sponsor to pay for the video game.
Yes.
And the deal was put our name in it, which I drink Monster every single day of my life, so I don't mind it.
You know.
fair enough. Fair enough. What
Yeah.
film did you see?
I saw Tomb Raider. The new
What
one.
did you think?
Was it good?
I can't talk about it.
Oh, right. Forgot
What?
spoilers. Well,
I
okay.
can't.
I've seen this film too. Like I
Oh, you have?
yeah.
I don't want to spoil it though.
I haven't
Oh.
seen
It is
that
relatively
because is it the games or
It's
Yeah.
it's similar to the
Yes and
game,
no.
but not
Okay.
the same.
okay?
And I think it's. I don't want to put it. Just go see it and then tweet at me when enough people have seen it,
Okay.
and we'll talk about it because I liked it. It was very well done. I liked how it looked. It was, Laura Croft wasn't over sexualized,
Yeah,
which was a big
which-
thing for me. She was just Laura Croft,
Yeah.
which was great. And the girl that played her was awesome. But there's a couple plot points that are
Miss
different.
Vikander is what you're talking about, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
And then other than that, Sea of Thieves, definitely.
Yep.
I've been going hard on that game,
yes.
like I said. But reason I haven't played a lot of shit games, I was on vacation for the past week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
He was
Yeah.
jacking it.
Yeah. Jacking it. And,
yeah. So I didn't get to play too much, but I did spend my nights playing Sea of Thieves in the hotel room.
Dedicated to the
with
cause.
shitty hotel internet.
Yeah, shitty hotel internet. It took me, so I had my ex with me, so it was 18 or 19 gigs, whatever it was.
18.
It took me over 13 hours to download it.
Jesus.
Welcome to
Awful.
my world.
Granted, I was out exploring San Francisco, so
Yeah.
I just turned it on in the morning, came back, and it was done. I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Mine took
So.
me like an hour, not even.
I
So,
wish.
but
No, I'm back now,
Good.
so yay.
Okay.
There'll be more Sea of Thieves talk, I promise.
Yes.
Plenty more
I
to
love that
come.
game.
Let's leave it at that though, because we seem to have said
Yes.
Sea of Thieves like 8 million times this episode. So let's move on to what's hot now.
So there is something that I'm going to be filming it, and I'll put it up on YouTube. A Way Out came out Friday,
Oh yeah.
which is the online co-op, and
Yep.
you only need one copy to play with a friend.
Which
Yay.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. All you do is
What
buy
is-
it. I think it's $20.
That's not
I
bad.
don't even know. Yeah. So I will do a full playthrough of me and Ben. I'm trying to decide if we'll leave commentary in it or if it'll just be us playing it.
You
Well,
and Ben,
We'll see. We'll see.
not me.
We'll,
Nah, it's
we'll-
okay. I'll
we'll cycle
I'll play
around,
with
Tyler.
Christy. No, it's okay. I'll just play it with Christy.
Fair enough.
So
Before we get to my favorite one,
yes.
my least favorite one of the week, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered.
And the shithole that goes with it, and what
Yep.
what everyone's so mad about.
So this remaster got leaked this week.
Yep.
It does not include multiplayer.
So
Which
it is-
is
just 90% of what that game was
Jesus.
famous for then.
yeah, like everyone who likes that game is like shitting on them for not having the multiplayer.
I don't blame them for not doing it. Or
I
for,
I mean-
not having it.
Did the Modern Warfare remaster have the
Yes.
multiplayer?
Yep.
Oh.
And it had better online numbers than Infinite Warfare.
Oh.
That's because Infinite Warfare was pretty garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So that's why they don't do it, because they don't want to
Kill.
pay for two servers.
Yeah.
You know, here's this 10-year-old game and here's this brand new game.
They don't want to.
Granted, they have a fuck ton of money.
I assume this is the Black Ops 4 that they don't want to kill now.
Yeah, that's the Black Ops 4 that they don't want to kill.
Yeah, which still, I don't understand why do Modern Warfare 2 on a Black Ops year. I don't understand that mentality. Would just push it another year and include multiplayer in it when there's an Infinity Ward game.
I mean, maybe they will, or maybe they'll be like, oh, hey, you know, here.
Everyone's mad at this.
Yeah, it'd be like, okay, hey, maybe we should actually do this. So maybe, but...
Or even more terrifying thought.
Oh, God.
You pay $25 for the remaster.
Don't say
And
it.
they make the multiplayer paid
Don't
DLC.
say
But then you make, paid DLC.
Oh,
$40.
They're gonna do that.
The problem
that's
is,
gonna be what happens.
the problem is, if they did that, people are still gonna buck it. They're still gonna buy it.
Yeah, they're still gonna do it.
And it's just
100%.
like they're just cheating people out of their money. It's just like, I
Here's
hope
a 10, 11-year-old game now.
I hope they don't do that. I mean, that'll just be like,
Right.
That's
Do the burnout paradise thing.
Yeah.
Where you just make it fully functional. It just looks prettier.
yeah,
That's it. That's all you have to do. But at the same time, I also see not killing a new IP, or not new IP, but a new game with an old game. I can
see
understand
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But so that's why you just do it like 6 months after the game comes out.
Yeah, or do
They're not thinking like this, though, are they?
I mean, they can do what they did with Infinite Warfare. Just release the remaster with the new game.
Well, it killed the new game though.
That is true.
So
yeah.
that's why you wait. If you do it, let's say 6 months before, everyone gets hyped on Modern Warfare 2 remaster.
Yep.
And then Black Ops 4 comes out. Yeah, you're gonna draw those Modern Warfare 2 fans because they fell in love with it again.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, yeah, I like Black Ops.
Yeah.
And they'll jump in.
Let's see how it was. Yeah.
But not Activision.
No. Yeah, they're
And
missing the ball.
the one I'm hyped for the most.
Oh yeah.
Out this Tuesday, Far Cry 5.
Yep.
Mike wants to go
nice.
kill those crazy cult Americans.
Those
So excited.
crazy cultists. Yeah, it's
Yep.
it's gonna be great. I'm gonna go on Monday. Actually, if people here who are listening in the United States or whoever has a GameStop near them, well, I don't know if it's in other countries or not, but they are doing a 9 p.m. launch. Yes, 9 p.m. I talked to the one guy at GameStop. He was just like, we, reached a agreement with the developer saying, hey, we can release or we can sell the game early. People can get on earlier. Boom.
Yep.
Everyone's happy. Like, I was just like, I love that. That is a great
That's
thing.
awesome.
Like, don't make me stay up late.
The couple hour difference allows you to install it.
Yeah, allows you to install it, lets people, get some rest, and then wake up the next day, play it. Yep. So I was just like, that's a pretty cool thing. So apparently that's something that GameStop is actually actively pushing now.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm assuming all of us are getting that.
Yes.
Yes,
Ben?
at some point.
Yes,
I have other things to get first.
I have mine pre-ordered. I have the Steelbook edition pre-ordered. So
I did another stupid pre-order.
yes, you did.
I pre-ordered the Steelbook edition in New York, in which the state I live in.
Yep.
And I will be traveling on Monday. So
To?
I will be in Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Cool.
Good job.
That was fun.
Super fun.
But yeah. So I'm gonna take your pre-order $5 and slap
no,
it towards
because
my.
I paid the full amount.
Oh, hey, I'm
do that.
just gonna grab the game for free then.
Nope. What I'm really gonna do is just buy a copy of it and then pick up the Steelbook case when I get back.
Oh, there you go. I mean, you can just tell me to pick it. Like, wait, you paid for the whole thing? Just tell me to pick it up. I'll do that.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that I'll be traveling for 5 days with.
Oh
the
yeah.
game.
Then you
So
don't have the
I'm just gonna
game.
go and buy the game.
All right, I
And
get
then I
you.
have 2 copies of the game when I come back. Maybe I'll give one away or something.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you want a Far Cry 5,
Ooh,
let me know.
yeah.
I'll tweet at you because I might have a spare copy. I guarantee I'm gonna have a spare copy.
Yeah, you will. That's okay.
So, but that's it for this week's sea surfing podcast. Sea of Thieves.
Woohoo.
Arg.
Arg.
We'll be arg. We'll be back. God, that was good. We'll be back next week with even more tales from the open sea.
Yes.
And as well as our mighty Halls o' Plunder.
Oh gosh.
And
Yes.
God, Ben is so
Gruesome
weird.
tales to share with you
not-
scurvy dogs.
I'm not doing that.
Oh yes. We will have
well,
some.
Benny, where can people follow us and find us?
They can find us on Twitter at entirely_x.
And Tyler, what if they have Instagram?
Instagram is entirely_x_gaming_podcast.
And chances are, if you're on Instagram, you have a Facebook account. So go to facebook.com/entirelyxgaming. Yep. Give us a like. And youtube.com. Just go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Type in EntirelyX, and we pop up.
Boom.
And don't forget about iTunes.
Yes.
Notice something really cool. If you type in and part of Entirely, we are the second option in iTunes.
Oh,
who's the first? I'll kill
Yeah,
them.
who's the first?
I don't know. I didn't even look at that. I just saw we were number 2, and I got excited.
Its own. Its own.
Oh God.
But speaking of YouTube, I do have. I've just been, because I have a 4K TV and I bought an external hard drive.
Yep.
So I've just been capturing gameplay of games in 4K. So check out the YouTube channel. There'll be a couple of them. They're just gameplay. I'm not talking over them. There's no camera of me. It's just gameplay in true 4K, 2160.
Boom.
So you'll be able to check them out on youtube.com on our channel. And I think it's time for the sign-off games.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Talk them through the sign-off game, Mike. Make sure they know what they're doing.
Sign-off game. Each week, all three of us as hosts, will say a line from a movie, video game, and you, the listener, has a chance to guess it, and you have to guess all three correctly.
Yep.
Right? If you do, I will send you I have a couple $5, $10 gift card to Xbox.
Something.
So just tweet at us at what, Ben?
It's at entirely_x. We need all three answers, guys.
Yes.
All three, and they all have to be correct.
Yep.
And no
make sure you
cheating.
do it.
Don't Google it.
Yeah, don't
Well,
Google it.
they're going to Google it.
I mean,
This is going to happen.
Yeah.
That is true.
Well, let's just, be honest.
Yeah, be honest.
Try to get them. Yeah. So mine for this week is, I've been falling for 30 minutes.
Right, guys. Mine this week, I want the character as well as what it's from. And it's Meh!
And mine is, yes, did somebody say me?